Want to learn some of the latest Instagram updates and answer the latest trending questions, such as how do I use Instagram linked reels? Well, in this video, three new Instagram reel features that'll boost your reach. We're covering even more Instagram reel updates like Instagram reposts, Meta AI translation, and Instagram linked reels. And of course, we're going to be answering how do reposts on Instagram reels boost reach, as well as AI translation and linked reels. So let's get into it today. As always, we're going to help you step your gram up on the latest episode of the Social Roundtable. Welcome, guys. Happy Monday. Whatever day that you are watching this, we are live on a Monday, and I'm so glad that you are joining us. Listen, this is another episode of the Social Roundtable. We were gone for a week, but we are back, and it just so seems to happen that Instagram is not letting up. We were gone for a week, but they've just been continuing letting out these crazy updates. This is like the third week in a row, Meagen, that we've had continuous updates for us to cover, and I'm so glad they're keeping us employed. But it's so much to cover, so much new things that we can actually utilize on Instagram to help boost our reach. So I'm glad we're going to be talking about it with a very special guest. But shout out to you, my co-host Meagen. How are you doing, and what's going on your side of the world?
I am wonderful, excited to be here. Like you said, Heston, I mean, the updates just keep rolling on out, and even the ones that have been released, new things are coming about them, right? Like new strategies that we can implement and different ways that people are finding what's working, what's not working. So we have so much to dive into, and I'm extremely excited for that and so honored to have our guest here, Katrina. If you could take a moment to introduce yourself to our audience, say where you're coming in from, what you do, how you help people, and what type of content you create.
Yeah, hi, I'm Katrina Labar, and thank you for having me, guys. I am from Toronto, Canada. I am a social media and business coach. I help people learn how to create content that's going to build their personal brand and then make money. Yeah, that's basically
That's right. Hey, that's
that.
Straight
that's what we
to
want.
it. And I would like to say you are a returning guest to the Social Roundtable. When we used to go on live on Instagram, we got a brand new digs. It might look exactly the same, but it's a brand new platform. It's YouTube, so we're so glad to have you join us on this brand new platform. But it's the same old series. And for you guys, whether you are a returning viewer or you're a regular, we thank you so much for joining us as we get into today's topic. Three new IG Reel updates that you are going to want to pay attention to because they have the potential to increase your reach. We're going to get into it. Once again, this is the Social Roundtable, a series, a weekly series that myself and Megan host every week. And if you're going to be, if you're expecting a lot of value, listen, stay tuned, get your notebooks out. We got a lot to share with you guys today. We want to make sure excuse me, we want to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to actually check out this video as well. So we would appreciate it if you like this video. And if you want more like this, hit the subscribe button. And all of our contacts and websites and URLs, all of that good stuff is in the details right now, including Katrina's website and Instagram page as well, her YouTube channel as well. So show her some love as we get into today's topic. We got three features to discuss, and we're gonna go one by one to kind of introduce it. We're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna get right into it as we discuss these topics and play a little trivia game that you could take a part in. But first, let's discuss one of the main topics. I'm gonna go to you first, Katrina, to introduce one. Share a little bit about it, your thoughts, and then Megan and myself would also chime in.
Yeah, so the new one is linking reels. And I think this is a great update because it's going to funnel people to your other content. So if you have a series happening, you can now link your other episodes. It's just a great way to get more views on your content. Um, I don't know if you guys want to add in anything about it because I haven't actually tried it out yet.
And it's
Oh,
still
well,
rolling out. I'm hoping a lot of people have it. Do you have it, Megan?
actually, I checked on Friday and didn't have it yet, and I haven't checked today. So I
Well,
know
it seems
that
like I'm
you
the
have
only
tested.
one who. Yeah, it seems like I may have been the only one who have tried it. So, but first of all, I want to kind of piggyback on what Katrina has stated because it works exactly as she stated. You are able to link reels to other ones. And right before we were going live, I kind of mentioned to Katrina, it reminds me of YouTube. Once again, I bring this up almost once every other week, Megan. I say Instagram is becoming more and more like YouTube. It's the YouTubification
Mhm.
of Instagram. It's that era. They've stolen enough stuff from TikTok. Now they moved on to YouTube now, so they're taking as much as they can. And if you guys know how YouTube works, what they do is when you're watching a video, at the end you might see like a video or two other videos show up. It's usually in the last 20 seconds of the video, and you're able to click on, if you're watching something about somebody making food, a recipe, and they're cooking, but they might have two other videos leading you to other recipes. I'm talking about food now, become a little bit hungry, so don't mind me. But if you want to, you can continue the session. That's what they call it on YouTube. It's a watch session, because if you watch one creator's video and you move over to another of their video, YouTube likes that because you're just keeping them on the platform longer. It's not just the watch time of that one video, it's now the watch session. So if you could create like a little marathon of having people binging your videos like we used to do with Netflix, just binge the entire series at once, the platform loves that. And I think the same thing is going to apply for Instagram with this new link reels feature. So I want to share a little bit of my little test of it. I posted it on on my last Instagram reel. If you guys want to check that out, the link is in the bottom of the description. And on that page, you'll find my latest reel. It's a collab that we did with this series, the Social Roundtable. And what I did at the bottom, it allows me to link a reel, and I chose the very previous reel to the one that I was posting, and I did it multiple times. So to each reel, I linked the previous one. I think I did it to 5 different reels, and it just created this nice series flow, which is interesting because I was telling Megan, with reels, we're used to it going up and down on the feed, but when you link them, they go left to right, and you're
Oh.
using your thumb to slide. So it's like I immediately mentally just knew when I slide left to right, I was looking at the same creator's reel. And it gave me a better idea of how the concept works, how the series works, because I connected it to the social roundtable reels. So it was technically a series. And I think if one of the best ways to actually use this feature would be for series. So I did that, and it worked great. There are a few limitations, such as the title that you put in the in the little label. It's very short. It's like 20 characters or less. So it's not like you could write out like a full title and say, hey, check out this reel. It's very short. I use a couple emojis to kind of grab attention, but it's really interesting. And I think that that same metric of watch session, I won't be surprised if we hear about that maybe in a couple of months from Instagram when more and more people start to use this feature. But when you guys get this feature, I'm going to go to you first, Katrina. When you get this feature, how do you plan on using it yourself, if at all? Are you planning to use it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think it's really smart to be linking your last one, especially like if you don't have the series going for them, but you can do it based on topics. If you're doing
Mhm.
collaborations, like you can kind of, I love that you can also name them so that people can see like what they're going to be viewing. If they want to like go and find out more about Instagram growth, then I can
Yeah.
link that and have all my reels there connected. So I do love that.
Yeah, I think that's awesome way of utilizing this feature. How about you, Megan?
100%. I agree there that being able to link not only series but like content. I wouldn't suggest if you guys are creators with a niche that has a lot of different things. I wouldn't suggest to just link any reel to each other. Make sure that it has something to do with the other one that you're linking it to. Like Katrina said, if it's about Instagram growth, the other one's about Instagram growth, perfect, right? If people are in there, they want to binge that type of content. They liked that first one. And sometimes if if you're the viewer, it can be so hard to go to somebody's page and be like, oh, I know they probably have things like this.
Mhm.
I want to see more, and kind of scrolling to find it can be hard. And sometimes people just won't do it. So I think that the linked reels will do a lot of good. Like Heston said, I mean, he kind of mentioned the emoji, adding the emoji to the title. I mean, we were talking about this on Friday, Heston. To me, that was such a good idea because the way that it shows up of like watch this one next, it's so small and not really, it doesn't really stand out. So that was a golden nugget tip there, Heston, that you just shared. And definitely take that. I will be testing that out the same. Yeah.
I can't wait for you guys to get this because I think that it'll apply to a lot of the content that you guys create as well. Like you guys have different topics that you speak about, but you speak about those topics often, so you can start connecting it. And I can see, hopefully, a lot of people utilizing it the same way that you guys are describing. So, guys, we're talking about linked reels. It's one of the latest features that Instagram introduced. If you guys haven't seen it out there in the wild, check out my latest reel. I'm going to be applying it to all of my reels because the majority of the reels that I post are clips from this show. So that's like a series built into itself. So I'm just going to lead it. And then it's great because if you could just keep going, you just continue viewing the last one, you keep sliding, and such a great steal from YouTube. So kudos to you, Instagram. Some of these other features they may have stolen as well, but we're going to talk about another one that's not directly from YouTube, but maybe they stole this one from TikTok. Megan, let's talk about the next feature that's on the list in regards to coming out from Instagram, or I should say it's already here.
Yes. So we have our reposts, which we talked about last week and kind of shared a little bit, or 2 weeks ago, sorry, we were off last week.
Yeah.
Um, and, shared a little bit about that and some tips and how we plan on using it, what we see. And ultimately, the repost is that really cool feature where you can now, on your page, repost other people's stuff. It has its own separate tab. So if you see a meme or a quote that you love, maybe you want to share really helpful content within your niche or something similar to your audience, you can easily reshare there. I think it's going to be a really powerful tool to, one, yes, share that helpful information, funny information, connect, but also to be seen as, that leader to really make sure that your page is a hub of things that really is talking to your ideal person. And it's going to be a great way to really display your values, like your brand and your business values, and a little bit about your character, that voice, that uniqueness of you that maybe you don't show in your content, but it's a big part of who you are and how you show up to help people choose to work with you or help people trust you more because they like you more because of what you're sharing on the repost. Like, what are you consuming for content? So I'm very excited about that.
That's a really interesting perspective to share things that kind of elevates you as maybe the thought leader in your industry because they may not come directly from you, but because it technically still comes from you, you're bringing it to your audience's attention. They really look at you in a different way. I really like that, and I'm curious what you, Katrina. Are you considering using it in that same way, or perhaps you have a different idea on how you want to utilize this new feature of repost?
Yeah, I like the part where you can kind of highlight who you are, and it's not something that you would usually post on your feed. So it could be like things you're passionate about, and it's just another way to share things that you like without going off brands. I don't know how, I don't have a strategy yet of how I'm going to use it, but I do like what Megan said, and just really highlighting you as the authority, and posting other content so your audience can learn, maybe not the same that you would post, but something similar. Yeah.
So I have to ask this question. Which of you are on TikTok? Are you both on TikTok? No,
Yeah.
you're on TikTok, Achina. Megan, I know you're on TikTok, but not too much, right?
Yeah, it's like, I go in waves.
I'm curious, do you guys use TikTok's repost feature often?
I do.
I did
Yeah.
not know it had one.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I do. Some reason it feels less because they haven't always had it, I don't think, but they've had it for like a
Okay.
long time. Kind of like Katrina, you were like, I didn't even know they had one. I think that's kind of common that it's showing up in other like so if I reposted something, it might show up in the feed of people who follow me, but I don't think it's likely that they come to my page and go to my repost tab.
Okay.
It's,
Okay.
I mean, it totally you can, and you might check that out. But I think the way most people will use or do use it on TikTok is like that, um, versus I feel like Instagram is more like a big billboard of who I am, what I share, and when someone goes to your profile, like they go in on it.
Yeah.
That's a really, really great point in regards to the way that people are looking at on different platforms. I think because Instagram is kind of deemed as more polished in a way, even though it's kind of fallen back a little bit, it's trying to be a little bit more authentic, a little bit more raw. I still feel like there's that aspect of professionalism. Like, if you meet a new business, you don't ask them what's your TikTok. You generally ask them first, what's your Instagram? So there is that aspect of it. So it's interesting to see how people will use the same feature on different platforms and how will they market it, because Katrina wasn't aware of reposts on TikTok, but you were quite aware of it on Instagram. And Instagram seems to kind of put it in your face. I don't know, I'm not on TikTok, so that's why I wanted to ask you both in regards to how often or present it is on TikTok. But it's interesting to see how users will utilize it for both.
Hmm.
I want to know from you guys in the audience, are you guys excited about reposts on Instagram? Like, is this a feature that you probably be using on TikTok quite often and want to try to use it now on Instagram, whether it's in the same way or in different ways because it's on two different platforms? We would love to know. Go ahead and pose your question in the live chat, or if you're watching the replay, go ahead and let us know in the comments. Once again, before we go over to our next uh, update, our last update, and then we'll play a little trivia game that Megan has in store for us. I think we used to play this back in the day, Katrina. I think when we were
Yeah.
on IG Live, so you're a little bit familiar with the game. Obviously, won't be the same questions, but we'll have that for you guys as well in the audience. You guys can play along with us. I do want to remind you guys this is a YouTube live episode of the Social Roundtable, and we would truly appreciate your support by becoming a subscriber to our channel so that you don't miss any of our future episodes coming up every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as well, please hit the like button so more people can find this video. It's not a repost button on YouTube just yet, but you can hit that like button and get it out there to more and more people. And like I said earlier, you can hit up the links in the description. We have all of our links for YouTube, Instagram, and I have Katrina's webpage as well if you're looking to see a little bit more in regards to, I think it was an Instagram growth guide that you are promoting. I'll give you an opportunity to speak a little bit more about that at the end, but that link is also in the YouTube description. So check it out if you want to learn a little bit more of what Katrina offers, and check out our community as well. We would be glad if you're able to join us. I'm going to go over to the last feature that Instagram announced last week. I don't feel like this one got enough shine. A lot of people aren't talking about this one. I'm excited for it. Maybe because I don't need to use Duolingo anymore to get my Espanol on. Maybe that might be why. Because me and my daughter are trying to learn it, and I'm like, I might not need to go that hard as I used to. Instagram, or I should say, Meta, has now introduced what they call Meta AI translations. And I get my notes here, kind of give you guys an idea of what this is. Meta AI translations take it like we're creating a regular reel where maybe it's, and I believe it only works if it's one person on the screen. So imagine a talking head, you have the phone in front of you, you're just recording, you're talking about your day. If somebody else who does not speak English comes across your video, and let's just say for now it's Spanish, 'cause I believe that's the only other language that is working with it, they can pretty much hit a button and it understand your message that you're saying, because what they are hearing is not just the Spanish version of it, it's actually your voice reading, or I should say talking in Spanish. So it's really impressive. Adam Mosseri, the head of Instagram, I don't know if you guys saw that reel that he came out with. He literally introduced this new feature, and then the other half of the video was him, the same exact content that he was introducing the feature, but it was in Spanish. It was simply by the click of a button. Once again, the YouTubeification of Instagram continues because this is a feature that YouTube has. But I will give props to Instagram. They got it out there to the public faster. I believe right now on YouTube it's only available to a limited audience, but and I think it's also available in more languages. I'll give them that respect. But nonetheless, I feel like more and more people are aware of this new feature on Instagram, and I can't wait to explore using it. I haven't been able to try it just yet. I don't have it, and I'm not sure how the rollout is working with this, but I feel like this is going to be very advantageous for creators to reach an entire new audience. How about you, Katrina, in regards to when you heard this news? What are your opinions on it? And How do you think that you may apply it to your own strategy?
No, I think it's brilliant to have that. Like you said, it's going to reach a audience that we would never usually reach. So I think it's really smart. I don't know how to fully use it. Is it you just turn a button on and then they have the option to translate it? Do you
I
know?
think that I think that's how it is. I think when you come across a reel, like let's say you were scrolling on the home feed and you come across my reel, and it's, you'd probably naturally listen to English, but I'm speaking in Spanish at that point. You might be able to just hit a button on the reel and it translated to
Okay.
English. I believe that's how it works. If anybody in the audience watching live knows exactly, please feel free to chime in. I would love to know. But I feel like it's very easy if that's the case. Yeah,
As the creator, though, there there's going to be that option for you to allow it to do that or not, because it is that AI feature. So on the reel itself, which I don't know if this is the same for every account or if this is just my account. You know how sometimes features come different for everybody at different times, but like when I go to post reel, I have the option to turn it on there. And so if you don't do that for each reel, then it wouldn't work. But maybe eventually they'll make it so kind of like an account feature. We'll see.
that's a good point, and I'm glad that you mentioned that aspect of the creator having the control to do it, because you might not it might I can't think of a user case, but you might not want to actually be able to translate in another language for whatever reason. One just kind of escapes my mind, but there might be a reason you might not want to be translated into Spanish, or down the road when they have multiple languages, you might not translate into German or Mandarin.
Right.
Honestly, I would
Yeah.
love to hear what I sound like speaking any of those languages. It might actually, I mean, it's different than learning Duolingo and some of these other, platforms where you actually learn the language. Obviously, it's much more advantageous if you're able to do that. But for content creator speed and getting the content created done quickly, I mean, this is a great tool that I don't feel like a lot of people are really paying attention to. I think this is almost like that Google news that came out the other day. Like everybody made a big up deal about it like the first day, and then they forgot about it. And I'm like, this is going to help our reach. This
Mhm.
too, I think, is going to help our reach as well. It's not going to be 10 times the next day that it turns on, but it's something that would help you reach your other audience, and it may start to, I think it's going to get people start thinking more about that other audience, because right now, because we don't even consider that, we just focus on our not native language audience. But what if there
Hmm.
is a potential to reach India? You know, that's that's Instagram's largest audience. It's not the US. It's India is their largest audience. So imagine now if you're able to change your language and speak to Instagram's largest audience just by simply hitting a button. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that changes the game quite a
Yeah,
bit.
I agree.
Definitely. I'm excited about it like that too, Heston, knowing about the reach. I think some people aren't like really maybe aware or just a little maybe not too excited about it yet is because they haven't really thought about that. Kind of
Mhm.
like when I've worked with some brands in the past for video editing or AI video softwares, apps, and that was a big feature they wanted me to highlight. Um, and I really didn't. I think I mentioned it in one thing because, yes, being able to do that is very helpful. But like these other apps, you have to create multiple videos and post each one for it to then go in that language. So yes, it makes me
Yeah.
speak German or whatever, but I'm never going to post that on my page as German. It's very helpful for brands who are doing ads and they're targeting it to certain countries and locations. Totally. But it didn't really seem like for the everyday creator that beneficial. But this is next level. This is where it's doing it for you, and you don't have to create multiple versions of it. And it's something that everyone's going to find that beneficial reach from if you have it on, and if Instagram does it the right way and actually gosh,
That's
that where
key.
you were saying maybe you don't want your specific video to be translated. I'm like, well, if it's something that gets like show, maybe it's inappropriate in a different culture, like they see it
That's a
as that
great
might
point.
be hard. But I don't know. We'll have to see. And I'm curious from everybody in the audience, have you even heard about this feature yet? Because, like Heston said, it really wasn't that big of a deal. And well, it is, but to most people, it wasn't big news. So just give us a thumbs up if you've heard of it, thumbs down if you have not yet. And if you have any questions about it, always let us know.
Yes, I'm really excited to see how people will utilize that. But I think, that I said I couldn't think of a user case. That was a great example because lots of things get lost in translation when you translate it into a different language. You might insult somebody because you
Yeah.
use a certain word, and
Mm-hmm.
it's weird how things might play out. I wonder if AI, particularly AI and Meta's AI, is smart enough to recognize that and maybe actually substitute certain words that might come off as offensive, or at least give a
Mm.
warning to us, the person that doesn't speak that language. I feel like that would be really interesting. But
Mm.
great point. Looking to see what you guys say in the live chat or in the comments in regards to Megan's questions. Have you guys even heard of this brand new feature that was just recently released? Meta AI translations will have you speaking in Spanish for now, but they do promise more languages will be coming. And right there are the three main features that Instagram released over the last week that I don't know about you. I need a breather because the last 3 to 4 weeks, Instagram has just been relentless. I'm almost scared to go on Instagram today because I feel like whenever we get off the live, I scroll. Katrina, I kid you not. If I scroll, it's like within 3 reels, Adam Asseri shows up and there's a brand new feature. And I'm like, oh, great. It's got to start it all over. These features are coming at us relentlessly. And I
Very
like the
good.
fact that they're not staying still, but I need some time in between, a little space to adjust and figure out some of these things.
And test them out
Yes, and
Exactly.
test
before
them
you launch
out for
another one
sure.
at us.
Yeah, just like the first one today. It's like, well, have we don't have it, so we haven't tested it. And well, maybe I do today, but it's like I haven't been able to test the last three all the way that we talked
Oh,
about. And that's coming from, people who are creating probably more consistent than the average person on Instagram. Yeah, it's sometimes it's hard to keep up with.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, the end of this year, we're about going into 4 more months into the end of the year. I don't know if you guys remember what last year looked like. It was crazy with the updates. I'm hoping that they slow down. I don't need a repeat of 2024 end of the
No.
year. Instagram, please, we do not need that. Slow down. Um, But with that being said, listen, we spoke about the three main features that Instagram has just released. We spoke about linked reels. We spoke about reposts. Also spoke about Meta AI translations. All of these brand new features that Instagram has released to their various degrees are going to help increase your reach if you decide to use it, and obviously on the way that they execute these brand new features. And I think that that's part of the entire goal. A lot of these features that they've been introducing have been more creator focused to get more reach from in Instagram, such as Meta AI translations, and even outside of Instagram, like the Google index, where people can find your Instagram profile and content on Google. So I'm loving the features. It's a little bit too much. Slow your roll, Instagram, but these three features I'm really excited to try out. I hope you both get that new feature I'm talking about in regards to link reels. I think you guys would really love it. But how about you guys watching? Which one are you most excited for? We actually asked you guys about Meta AI translations if you heard it, but which of these three are you most excited for? Put it down in the comments or in the live chat. We would love to hear from you. As we now get into our little fun game that we like to play, that you could also join us for. Megan has a couple questions for myself and Katrina that there is no right or wrong answer. So you could join in as well in the live chat. If you're watching the replay, join in the comments also. Megan, take it away.
All right, here we are. We are playing Would You Rather, and I will give the questions, two options, and ask Trina first, then Heston for you to follow up. And everyone, as always, like Heston said, love your answers in the comments too, whether you're watching live or the replay. So, first one, would you rather A, only be able to post Instagram stories for the rest of eternity, or only be able to post reels for the rest of eternity? Katrina, what would you say?
Ah, that's so hard because there's different intentions for them.
I know, I know.
Oh no. Um, oh wow. Well, I'm gonna say stories. I'll say stories because reels will get me reach, but I'm gonna nurture my audience with stories. So I'm just gonna have to stick with the community I got, I guess. I'm
Yes.
gonna say stories for sure.
Love that. I know it's a hard one. Heston, what would you say?
I Yes, I agree. That's a difficult question. I gotta agree with Katrina. I think that stories you could explore more with stories and in the same time nurture your audience. Whereas with reels, it's a little bit more strict, I guess you could say, in regards to what you can present from your account, from your platform, what your audience expects from you. They
Yeah.
have a certain amount of things that they expect from you from reels. It's like the wild wild west in regards to IG stories. You could post whatever you want and you could, reach out to different people in your audience. So I agree. I'll go with that.
Yeah, definitely. Same. I had to choose stories as well. I just I didn't think of this workaround before. Okay, I wasn't trying to be cheap here, but I just thought of it when you were talking, Katrina, that you could also maybe save those stories as highlights, and it could act as a reel if you want, not necessarily for reach, but in order so it stays there. I don't know, provides that value. And I struggle with choosing stories because I think reels are fun. Like I enjoy
Yeah.
creating them,
Mhm.
but you can create fun stories too. So I think we said all stories across the board. Heston, I can't
Yeah,
see it, so you just call it out if anyone did say anything in the chat. Um,
will do.
but while we are waiting for that, I will go on to the next one. This one is a little bit different, not specific about Instagram, but just, work as an entrepreneur and content creation as a creator in general. So, would you rather A, be able to create your content from a beautiful beach, or B, be able to create content from a cozy cabin in the mountains? Katrina, what would you say?
Oh, I'm a beach all the way.
Beach
I'm
all
a
the
water
way.
baby.
Okay, I love it. Okay, Hassan, what would you say?
Before I answer, I just want to remember to remind you guys to check out all of our links, and especially Katrina's after she answered that, because Katrina does a lot of travel content as well. And then I think that might have leaned her decision for that
Yep.
answer.
That's an easy one for me.
um, I'm gonna go. uh, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm not a big fan of the beach. I am not a big fan of the beach. And my wife hates that about me because she loves the beach, and I'm just like, I'll see you. I'm going somewhere else. I will probably be the one in the cabin working. So yes, give me the cabin any day of the
Hmm.
week.
Yes. Okay. I thought I was going to be the only one. I actually very strongly dislike water, beach, heat. Like, I know I live in Florida, silly.
You live in Florida.
I moved here like 10 years ago and I was like, you know what? It showed me I really don't like the beach. I'm like, no, no, I'm good. I don't even care to go to the pool. Like, I
We
am
can
full.
trade lives if you want.
Yes.
Get me out of
Perfect.
here.
Oh gosh. I mean, don't get me wrong. I kind of like the warmth, but yeah, I just love a cozy cabin. I love the mountains. I don't care to be next to water. Like I just want to be with trees and greenery and yeah, hiking. So I am there for content in the cabin in the mountains. Yeah. Thank you guys. That was fun. Little different one.
That was a fun one. I like that one. Well, that is it for our game. Thank you guys for joining in and playing. I didn't see too many answers. You guys have been a little bit shy with your answers in the live chat, but I do hope that for those that are watching the replay, go ahead and put your answer in the comments. We will definitely be responding to them when they show up, and we appreciate all of the engagement that we are getting. Speaking of engagement, once again, your last reminder, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please let's make it happen. Hit that big red subscribe button. It should be somewhere around here in this vicinity. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any other of the future videos that myself and Megan will be sharing, no matter whose channel you are following us from. We definitely appreciate your presence in our community. So make sure you are subscribing to catch all of our latest videos every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we get to speak about certain topics that you ask for most, such as content creation, digital marketing, and including travel content which we are glad to have our special guest here today, Katrina Labar, joining us once more. It's always great to have you join us, Katrina. I know we talk a bit in the DMs here and there, but I'm so glad that we were able to make this happen. As I said, everybody's links, including Katrina's, to her IG growth guide, which please, I'm going to give you some time to speak about, is in the description. So please check it out. And as we end our incredible show here with our guest here, Meagen, I want to give Katrina an opportunity to share where they can find you, what are you up to, and even if it's that IG growth guide.
Yeah, and you can find me at Katrina Labar on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I do have my Instagram growth guide where it's going to teach you everything about Instagram and how to grow your profile, how to build a personal brand. And I am launching, hopefully soon, an Instagram course to teach you about dive further into personal brands and selling on social media.
Nice, nice. So you said that's launching pretty soon?
I'm working on it. It's a work in
Awesome,
progress.
awesome.
Yeah.
I got you. I know how that is. I know how it is, but I'm sure that it'll be something great when it lands. And I hope that you guys are tuned in, join her community so that you guys can follow up with her on that as well. Meagen, how are you doing? Where can the people find you? Is there anything else that you would like to share that the audience should know?
Yes, well, as always, you guys can find me on TikTok. Instagram's my main place. Here on YouTube, we have all of our lives replayed. You guys can binge through those, kind of like the linking reels on Instagram. You can just do it here on YouTube. That's actually what I was going to say. How cool would it be if Instagram not only showed you like the next one in the link, but gave you the option to see all the titles and choose which one you wanted? Like, come on.
That would be awesome.
Like,
Yeah.
thank you,
That
Instagram,
would
but
be
maybe we could go a little
awesome.
further.
Yeah, I
But
like that one.
yes, yes. So you guys can find me on all the main socials there, social media with Meg. And happy and excited to talk to you guys. So slide into the DMs.
Awesome. Well, like I said, all of the links are in the description. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so glad that you guys have made it here today, but we hope to see you not next week. I think we're off next week. Yeah, it's Labor Day.
Yep.
It's Labor Day here in the States. So we will be off, but the following Monday, we will have another episode for you guys. We're working on the next batch of videos in September. Wow. The end of the year is almost here. Before you'll blink and it's going to be Thanksgiving and Christmas. So thank you guys once again for joining us. We hope to see you in our next episode. Until then, take care and have a great one. All right, guys. Bye.